Getting right into today's video, we are starting off by prepping my practice hand. If you guys did not know, I did launch my Vita Bella practice hand back earlier this year. So here I am using V4, that is the skin tone, for reference if you guys are interested in checking it out on the website. And along with that, I am just putting our easy tape on there. This is going to allow me to easily apply, essentially press on nails onto my practice hand. That way I can just easily interchange them when I'm ready to start fresh. So now I'm going in with my favorite tips from Amazon. These are squared and they do not have a C curve. I absolutely adore them. I'm just gluing them on using the Young Nails brush on glue. And the reason why I am obsessed with these is not only because they get here very, very quick, but the shape of them is perfect and I don't struggle to glue them on as well. Now here I'm just taking my nail tip cutters and I'm gonna be trimming these down slightly. I love to do very long nails and I haven't been able to do them on myself, so the practice hand is the way to go for now. I'm going to be using the Kiara Sky Beautiful color that you see here on screen. And the name of this color is Bewitch You. I think it's super beautiful. Originally I wanted to go with brown, but that's super basic and I always do brown. So I wanted to get out of my comfort and I looked through all of my powders and this color really stood out to me. So it's like a very deep rust color and I absolutely love it. For the fall vibes, is definitely a must. So we're going to be applying that on the entire nail of the pinky. Along with that acrylic powder, I am using the Kiara Sky monomer as well. And then for my brush, I actually opted for the Profiles Backstage Sculpted Like It's Hot in the number 12. So it is a size 12 brush. However, I feel like they are a little bit smaller than your typical size 12 brushes. So if you want it to be bigger than a 10 but smaller than a 12, this one's definitely going to be a good option. I like to use it when I'm doing fills or when I'm doing nails on a very thin nail bed client and on just short nails because I'm not going to be picking up a lot of product. Now I am going in with thin layers, so you're not going to be seeing me build up any apex or anything like that. And reason being is I like to save money, and therefore saving money consists of using less product. So the less colored powder you use, you can always just go in with clear acrylic and encapsulate. I always recommend that, and a lot of companies always recommend that anyways if you're using colored acrylic, because the strength of the acrylic itself does kind of go down as you add more pigment into it. And these are very pigmented colors. They still work really, really well. However, I always recommend to encapsulate. So if I'm going to encapsulate anyways, I'd rather just save some product and use thin layers. Now I'm going to be doing an ombre on the ring finger. I've mentioned it a lot before in my videos where I never know what I'm doing until I get started. So I come up with a general idea of what I wanted. Originally I wanted to do brown nails and I knew that I wanted to incorporate maple leaves and flowers in there as well. Didn't know if I wanted to do any other accents, but I knew from the get-go that that's what I wanted to do. So then we improvised a little bit and I ended up choosing this rustic color. And then I ended up thinking that I should add a little bit of nude in there. So we are adding this mix that I actually created for this specific skin tone of practice hand. And it is a combination of Nude Panther, First Nude, and Silk Scarf. I feel like it goes really good with deeper skin tones because it has like a very neutral nude hue to it. I use it a lot on my nails as well. I'm sure you guys have seen it before, but I really, really like it for darker, deeper skin tones. Then for this beautiful Mylar glitter that I am using here, it is loose. It does not have powder in it, so I'm just wetting my brush and using that to adhere it to the powder, or to the acrylic nail, I guess I should say. This is called Bonfire from Profiles Backstage. It is one of my favorites, and it is absolutely in my fall favorites video. A definite must in my books. It's so beautiful and it goes so well with this color as well. So definitely love that I ended up finding that in my drawer. Now for the middle finger, I wanted to do an extra nail, and you don't really see these as much, and I feel like for this time of year it is the perfect accent nail because we all like to be cozy, and what better way to be cozy than to get a quilted blanket. So that's pretty much what we're doing here. I'm going to be doing a quilted blanket, and for that you want to add a good layer. So there's a few actually different options of doing it. You can absolutely apply the entire acrylic nail like I am doing here. Now realistically, for a client, you do want to build it up a little bit more since they are going to be prone to breakage. This is a practice hand, so I didn't build it up a lot as I typically would. Highly recommend do a thick layer as the base, and then go in with your final layer, and then you can do the lines and indentations on that layer. So that way you're not struggling to like hurry up and like try to get it done. So what I'm doing here to do those little indentations and lines, I'm taking one of the other tips in the bigger sizes from the same tips that I used on the practice hand. And since it's like the perfect thickness, I believe, in my opinion, and then it is super straight, I'm just going to be using that to draw the lines or do the indentations. You can use a credit card, you can use a cuticle pusher, whatever you feel is better. But I decided to use this because I actually forgot that I was going to be doing the indentations and it started drying, so I needed something a little bit harder. You can always use like dental floss or something like that as well, but I am dipping it in the powder of that red color, or you can dip it in clear. You just want to make sure that it's coated with powder so that it doesn't stick to the wet acrylic. So I'm just going in, doing my diagonal lines, and then we're pretty much done. So you can kind of see how thin it is on the side view. That is why I would definitely recommend doing a second layer. But like I mentioned, it is a practice hand, so we don't need to really build it up as much as you typically would want to. Now for the index finger as well, we're going to be doing a full cover of that powder, and then I'm going to be going in and encapsulating all of the nails with clear except for the middle finger. You can still encapsulate it if you want. It will definitely give a different look. If you're not wanting any little ridges, I know sometimes it can get a little bit dirty and clients don't want that. A lot of clients don't mind it. However, you will have those few that absolutely do not want those little ridges sticking out. So you could always go in with a second layer with clear acrylic and encapsulate the entire thing. But like I said, it will create a different type of vibe. I'm going to be going in with my e-file and filing the surface of the nail. I am using the 5-in-1 bit from Kiara Sky in the color black in medium grit. These are my favorite all-time go-to bits. And I am using it at a speed of 11,000 RPMs. And I'm just going to be going around that cuticle area and then very lightly filing the entire surface of the nail, making sure everything is nice and smooth. I'm going in with my Tammy Taylor peel and stick file. These are definitely a recommendation on my books. I absolutely adore them. If you are struggling with shaping, try to switch out your file, and this one is a really good one, so definitely check it out. I'm going to be going on both the sides of the nails, and then we're going to be flipping the hand around to look at the nails from the client's perspective. This is always a must angle to look at the nails so that you can make sure everything is nice and straight, and please fix any errors that you may have missed. So I'm just going to be focusing on the shape at this point. And then always remember to pull back the skin of your client whenever doing this process. You do not want to accidentally cut their nails. Now I am actually going to be taking a mandrel bit and sanding band, and I'm going to be going over the entire nail. And I kind of wanted to try this because I used to do this a lot when I was doing clients' nails, and I don't know why I stopped, but this is a pretty good way of like fully removing big ridges that you can see from your e-file, like if you're struggling with filing it. And I just wanted to test it out to like remember how it felt and what it looked like. So this is gonna be like a really good, quick, easy way to just smooth everything out without over filing at all whatsoever. Always use light pressure, and I'm still using it at about 8,000 RPMs for that step. So again, flipping the hand around to look at the nails from the client's perspective, and then I'm just gonna be scoring off the tip, making sure that it is nice and straight. I'm going to be buffing the surface very, very quickly. Now we are skipping the middle finger when it comes to all of the filing of the surface. So always try to make sure that you lay that powder nice and smooth so that you don't have to file at all. I'm going in with the lint-free wipe and a little bit of Young Nail Swipe, cleaning the entire surface to remove any excess dust and prep the nail for the nail art. Now for the first time in my entire nail career, I did not forget to put matte top coat. So we're going to be going in with the top coat first, and then I'm going to be adding the nail art over top so that I do not struggle to top coat afterwards. This is just Matte It from Not Polish. It is my absolute favorite matte top coat. It mattifies and stays matte the entire time. So definitely recommend it if you hate your current matte top coat. And then we're going to be placing that in the light for a full 60 seconds. Now for the ring finger, like I mentioned, I wanted to do flowers and fall leaves. The reason why is because Florida is still freaking hot and I still like all the flowery vibes. So I was like, I'm just gonna throw flowers in there, but we're gonna obviously make them match the vibe that we're going for. So I am actually using a different Kiara Sky powder for this. This one is called Hex Appeal, and it's pretty much a darker version of the color that we used, definitely more maroon burgundy toned, and I freaking love it. So I figured I would go ahead and use it. We're going to be doing tiny little petals by simply placing a very small bead of acrylic, and then I'm going to be pointing out my brush. Whenever I say that, it means that I twirl my brush on my paper towel and make sure that it is nice and with a point versus the bristles kind of being out wide. So I pointed my brush and then we're going to be pressing that down the middle to just widen up that petal, and you can easily create a little 3D flower. If you guys still struggle, I know it's kind of hard to explain it, but I definitely do have videos where I go really in depth on how I get it. So definitely check those out as well. Now, as far as the little maple leaves, I'm going to be doing like a leaf type of vibe, a longer petal. And then we're going to be doing that on the sides as well. So it's going to be 3 little points with that same acrylic bead. And of course, the bigger you want the petal, the more acrylic you're going to pick up. So always try to gauge that as well. Once you get a little bit more comfortable with 3D nail art, you'll kind of understand how you should pick it up, where you should put it, how wet you need it, and how dry you need it. For my petals, I do like to work really, really fast. Obviously, if you're not as experienced, it will take a little bit longer. So make sure you're picking up a wetter bead. But for me, I like to use it nice and dry. I'm just adding a tiny little stem on the side as well. And then we're going to be adding another flower. Now for the leaf, I forgot to mention, I am picking up 2 different colors, and I am adding a nude color in there along with that color Hex Appeal. And the nude color is from Vanessa Nailz. It is called Fine Latte. It is such a pretty like caramelly latte type of nude color, and I've been wanting to use it, so I took the opportunity to use it, and I'll definitely be doing a set using that color as well. So I'm taking that nude color Fine Latte from Vanessa Nailz, and I'm going to be doing a half flower on this portion because I kind of wanted to layer over another leaf on it and then kind of see how it looked. If not, I would definitely take it off and just do a full flower, but I wanted to mess around with the placement and kind of see how it would turn out. Again, pressing down with the point of my brush, and I'm just kind of wiggling it to the right, to the left to kind of widen up that petal. And then again, I'm going to be taking the combination of Fine Latte and Hex Appeal. I'm picking up the nude color first and then directly after dipping it into the reddish color. That way they are nice and layered and they kind of marbleize on and create a type of different effect. As leaves, you typically kind of see them with different tones of different types of like oranges, reds, browns, and yellows. So that was kind of what I was trying to aim for. And then again, just use the tip of your brush to kind of carve out those little points. Bring it out very quickly, of course. And then I'm going to be adding another one as well. Now for the middle finger, I'm going to be taking some gem gel from Not Polish and one of their little crystal applicators. I'm going to be using the hard end of it, and then I'm going to be picking up the little caviar beads with the wax side of the pencil, pen, whatever you call it. So I'm going to be picking it up and then just pretty much placing it wherever I placed the gem gel. I am trying to do this extremely fast because the gel will run into the little creases, and I want to try to avoid that at all costs. It is a lot thicker than like any other type of gel, so I do have like a slight amount of time, but I'm still trying to do it as fast as possible so that I can get it in the light and cure it very fast. Simple, simple, simple. I'm just applying those on there by placing them right into the gel, and you want to make sure you kind of press it in there as well so that they get sunken in a little bit and they don't fall off as easy. But the gem gel is freaking amazing, so definitely recommend. I felt like the other nails were a little bit too naked, so we're gonna be adding a little bit of sparkle around the cuticles and create that cute little cuff accent. I really love that type of style on long nails, short nails. It just looks so cute. And to tie it all together, I did mix 2 different glitter liners from Not Polish. I'll leave them linked down below, but one is a disco one and the other one is from their platinum gel liners. Love it, love it, love it. I feel like it went so well. We're gonna be curing this in the light and then just simply removing the tacky layer and leaving it as is. But that pretty much concludes today's video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a ton, and I'll see you guys next time.